There have now been 10 two-division champions in UFC history, so let's rank them from worst to best, not on their overall careers, but their titles in these two divisions. At 10th, I got BJ Penn. He did beat Matt Hughes for the welterweight title, but never defended that belt. And at lightweight, he beat Sean Scher, Joe Stevenson, Kenny Flory, and Diego Sanchez. Decent run, but not the strongest. At 9th, I have Conor McGregor. He had great performances against both Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez, but he's the only two-division champion to never defend his belt in either weight class, so I can't put him that high. In 8th, I got Alex Pereira. He became middleweight champion beating Izzy, but then subsequently lost the belt in the rematch. And at light heavyweight, he did defend the belt a couple of times, but in a relatively weaker era. In 7th, I got Randy Couture, 9-time champion at light heavyweight and heavyweight, and he did beat guys like Vitor Belfort, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, and Tim Sylvia, but he did win and lose the belt very often. At 6th, I got Henry Cejudo. He dethroned one of the greatest champions ever in Mighty Mouse and then defended the belt against TJ Dillashaw trying to cut down. And then at bantamweight, he beat Marlon Moraes and Dominic Cruz. His legacy could have been a lot better though if he didn't retire a little too early. At 5, I got the newest addition, Ilia Topuria. He knocked out two of the greatest featherweights ever in Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. And at lightweight, he just knocked out Charles Oliveira. And if he can beat someone like Islam at lightweight, he'd be higher on this list. At 4, I got DC. He beat Rumble twice and Gus at light heavyweight. And then he knocked out the heavyweight GOAT and Stipe Miocic to get a second belt. At 3, I got Amanda Nunes. She beat Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey, Holly Holmes, Cyborg, Shevchenko. She did have that small blip to Juliana Pena, but then avenged that loss. And she has the most title wins in women's history. Now, I'm sure 2 and 1 will be a debate, but at 2, I got GSP. He beat Matt Hughes twice, BJ Penn, Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, Michael Bisping. It's just looking at the depth of his resume, I think it's a tiny bit short of number 1. So I do have John Jones number 1 based off title wins. If you want to include the PED stuff and the whole Aspinall situation, GSP does have a great argument to being the GOAT, but just solely on title wins, I think Jones is number 1. He's beaten Shogun, Rampage, Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Gus, Glover, DC, Gon, Miocic. I think he's got the deepest resume ever.